Hey, Warriors fans. Welcome back to another deep dive into everything happening with Golden State. There is so much to unpack right now, and honestly, it's a mix of excitement, frustration, and pure admiration for what Steph Curry continues to do night in and night out. At 38 years old, Steph is still putting up numbers that most players could only dream of, averaging 27 points, nearly 5 assists, and over 4 three-pointers per game, while shooting almost 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 90% from the free throw line, is just absurd. This is the level of play that defies logic, and it's remarkable to watch. You could almost forget the age factor because the way he moves on the floor, creates space, and makes shots under pressure is something that seems completely untouchable. But while Steph is doing everything he possibly can to keep this team in contention, there's a growing sense of frustration about how the organization is handling things off the court. We've seen Steph actively trying to influence moves, advocating for trades that could elevate the team and bring in additional star power. The idea is simple. Build a roster that can complement him, make the team a legitimate playoff threat, and hopefully chase another championship. But the response from the front office has been less than encouraging. It's been clear that some of the proposals Steph has suggested in the past have been met with resistance. Players that could have been added to the roster to provide scoring, defense, or depth have not materialized, and it leaves you wondering why a superstar at the peak of his strategic understanding of the game is being ignored. It's wild because you see Steph out there putting in work every single night, not just for himself, but for the fans, the city, and the culture he's helped build. He's been practically pleading, suggesting moves, highlighting opportunities, and yet the front office has not acted in the way that aligns with his vision. Over the last few seasons, there have been moments when he tried to push for deals that could have significantly shifted the team's trajectory, and the silence or hesitation from above is baffling. And, to put it bluntly, watching that happen while seeing Steph perform at an elite level every night makes it even harder to understand. There's this underlying tension where you see the talent on the floor, you know what's possible, and yet the moves that could realistically make the team better just don't happen fast enough. Speaking of talent on the floor, the recent win against Minnesota was a perfect illustration of both the potential and the limitations of this roster. Steph led the team with incredible numbers, 26 points, 7 assists, and 4 steals. And yet, despite a dominant performance, there's still that lingering thought. This team isn't built to maximize his abilities long-term. Other players had standout nights too, like Moses Moody lighting it up with 19 points and hitting 5 threes. Will Richardson and Draymond Green contributed in key moments, and Al Horford brought veteran stability. Individually, the pieces are talented and capable, but as a collective, there's still a sense that something is missing. The roster has flashes of brilliance, but it lacks that consistent superstar depth that can turn regular wins into championship-caliber momentum. What's fascinating, though, is how clearly capable the players are. It's not like the team is lacking skill or fight. There are guys who can step up on any given night and put the team on their backs. But when it comes to sustaining elite-level performance over an entire season or through the playoffs, the margin for error becomes razor-thin. This is where strategic roster building becomes crucial. The idea isn't just to have good players. It's to have multiple elite options who can complement Steph's unique skill set. Historically, we've seen teams pivot around a superstar by bringing in complementary stars and creating a balanced, versatile lineup. That's what Steph has been advocating for. Finding those pieces, executing trades, and creating an environment where the team's ceiling is much higher than it currently is. It's also worth noting that patience has its limits, especially when you're dealing with players at the age and caliber of Steph Curry. The clock is ticking, and while loyalty to players like Jimmy Butler is admirable, the reality is that injuries and aging affect performance. The longer the front office hesitates, the more precious time is lost where these stars can contribute at the highest level. This isn't just about wins tonight. It's about seizing the moment while the talent is still at a peak that few in history can match. The opportunities are out there, trade possibilities, underutilized players, and strategic acquisitions that could reshape the season. Steph has been vocal about these options, signaling a sense of urgency that should be impossible to ignore. And then there's the matter of momentum. Wins like the one over Minnesota show the team's potential, but the question remains, how do you turn potential into consistency? The current roster can hang with the best teams on any given night, but sustaining that performance in the grind of the NBA season requires depth and star power. Steph has shown repeatedly that he can carry the load, but relying solely on him is a risky proposition. The team has proven capable players, yes, but the next step requires bold decisions, calculated risks, and a willingness to make trades that could transform the roster into a true championship contender. The decisions made now will define how the rest of the season unfolds, and fans are watching closely, hoping that the front office can match the urgency and vision that Steph brings to the table. As this season progresses, it's clear that Golden State has everything needed to compete at a high level. A generational superstar, talented supporting players, and a fan base that is passionate and engaged. The missing ingredient is the alignment between what happens on the court and the decisions made off the court. Steph's advocacy for strategic trades highlights this gap vividly. He is not just thinking about scoring points. He's thinking about championship windows, roster balance, and what it takes to compete against other elite teams in a league where every advantage counts. Watching him lead the team while simultaneously trying to influence management is a rare scenario that underscores his unique position in the game. Few players have the credibility, insight, and drive to demand moves from the front office while maintaining peak performance on the floor. Steph's push for roster improvements isn't just about ego or personal stats. It's about championships. He sees the window, he knows the opportunities, and he's willing to speak up in a way that few players ever do. In recent years, he has highlighted trades that could have brought in stars, increased depth, and created better spacing and balance. Yet, the hesitancy or resistance from the front office raises questions about vision and timing. While loyalty and patience are often praised virtues, there comes a point where decisive action is required. The reality is that players age, injuries happen, and the NBA's competitive landscape shifts rapidly. The window to maximize a superstar's peak is short, and Golden State needs to capitalize on it. Fans have witnessed Steph at his very best, and it's clear that he still has the ability to change the trajectory of the season. What remains uncertain is whether the team's leadership will match his urgency. Looking at recent performances, it's encouraging to see other players stepping up. Moses Moody has shown flashes of brilliance, hitting crucial threes and providing scoring bursts. Draymond Green continues to anchor the defense, directing traffic and making plays that don't always show up on the stat sheet. Will Richardson and Al Horford bring veteran savvy and occasional offensive production, and Jonathan Kuminga showed promise in limited minutes before injury. Yet, even with these contributions, the team's ceiling is still limited without additional star power. The difference between a talented roster and a championship contender is often measured by the ability to perform consistently at the highest level. And while Steph Curry can carry a heavy load, relying solely on him is a dangerous proposition, particularly with the grueling back-to-back schedules, high-intensity playoff games, and the physical toll that comes with age. The contrast between what's possible and what's happening is frustrating. Steph has been the driving force, not just on the scoreboard, but in terms of vision for the team. He's advocating for trades, highlighting opportunities, and signaling urgency, yet the moves haven't fully materialized. It's reminiscent of a chess player seeing the winning combination on the board while the opponent, or in this case, the front office, hesitates. The difference between a good season and a championship run could come down to a single trade or a calculated risk that the organization has been slow to take. Watching this unfold, while Steph continues to play at an elite level, is both inspiring and exasperating. It's a rare situation in professional sports, where the superstar actively pushes for improvements while still carrying the team night after night. In addition to on-court performances, the narrative around player movement adds another layer of complexity. Discussions about potential trades, free agency, and player availability are ongoing. Rumors swirl around teams like Milwaukee, with Giannis Antetokounmpo's situation creating potential opportunities. Moves involving other high-profile players, whether they stay or go, can shift the balance of power across the league. The Warriors' front office has options at their disposal, but acting decisively requires trust in their own scouting, understanding of chemistry, and, most importantly, belief in the guidance coming from their franchise player. Steph's insights are rooted in experience, understanding of the game, and a perspective that few other players possess. Ignoring that input risks leaving the team short of its potential, and fans are acutely aware of it. It's also about timing and momentum. Wins like the one against Minnesota show what the team is capable of, but they also highlight what's missing. On any given night, the Warriors can perform at a high level, but maintaining that across a full season and into the playoffs requires more than flashes of brilliance. It demands depth, balance, and strategic roster construction. Injuries can derail even the most talented teams, and aging players have limits in recovery and endurance. While Steph Curry continues to defy expectations, relying solely on his ability to carry the team through back-to-back games and physically taxing playoff stretches is unsustainable. The solution lies in aligning roster moves with strategic insight, capitalizing on opportunities in the market, and making trades that amplify the existing talent. Steph's advocacy for trades isn't hypothetical, it's actionable. He's seen possibilities, identified moves that could elevate the roster, and consistently voiced his perspective. The challenge lies in execution. Management has a responsibility to trust the guidance of a generational talent and to move decisively when opportunities arise. The clock is ticking, and patience, while admirable in some situations, must be balanced against the urgency of maximizing a superstar's window. Decisions made now will shape the trajectory of the season and potentially define the final chapters of Steph Curry's career. Fans watch, analyze, and hope that the front office recognizes the stakes and the rare opportunity presented by having one of the greatest players of all time still performing at such a historic level. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Whispers around the league are heating up as sources close to the situation suggest that Donovan Mitchell Jr., currently a standout guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers, may have already given a tentative yes to a move that could shake the NBA landscape. While nothing is officially confirmed, insiders say the Golden State Warriors are quietly tying up the last threads of what could be one of the most talked-about acquisitions of the season. Mitchell, known for his explosive scoring, agility on the court, and ability to deliver in clutch moments, has been the subject of trade speculation for months. Teams across the league have reportedly expressed interest, but the Warriors' combination of championship pedigree, dynamic roster, and a style that perfectly suits Mitchell's game appears to have won him over. Those familiar with the discussions suggest that conversations have moved beyond mere interest, entering the realm of serious negotiation, with only minor logistical details left to finalize. The potential addition of Mitchell to a Warriors lineup already brimming with talent raises intriguing questions. How would his offensive creativity mesh with the team's renowned ball movement and sharpshooting? Could his presence shift the balance of power in the Western Conference? While the answers remain speculative, the excitement among fans is palpable, with social media abuzz over imagined lineups and highlight reels. League insiders hint that Mitchell's decision may not just be about basketball. Personal and cultural fit, championship aspirations, and long-term vision for his career are all factors influencing his lean toward the Warriors. Meanwhile, Golden State executives are said to be working meticulously, balancing contract details, potential draft implications, and roster flexibility to ensure the deal aligns with both the team's short-term goals and long-term strategy. As the rumor mill churns, one thing is certain. If Mitchell does join the Warriors, the NBA landscape could be poised for a dramatic shakeup. Fans, analysts, and rival front offices alike are watching closely, eager to see whether these whispers transform into reality or remain another tantalizing what-if in an off-season already filled with surprises. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.